Good afternoon and welcome everyone to the live Q&A webinar. My name is Danny. I'll be giving you the webinar today. Before we will begin, I would like to make sure that everybody can hear me properly and that can see the screen over here. If you can please comment in the questions section that the sound is in a proper level so we can begin. All right, I hope that more people can hear me properly because I don't see a lot of comments in the question section. And also I would like that if somebody can comment that the chart is visible. Let's bring up something just as an example. Okay, that's good. Okay, so we're going to begin. Like I said, my name is Daniel. I'll be giving you the live Q&A webinar today. We will begin, as always, with an explanation what will happen in the webinar. So first, we're going to go with the common questions that we've gathered from other webinars and previous live Q&A webinars. Then we're going to go with the dynamic questions that I'm going to receive from you guys, from the audience along the webinar. Then some links and information and webinar privileges that you will receive at the end of the webinar. And lastly, if we'll have time, so analysis. Okay, I'm going to say sorry in advance that we don't have a lot of time for analysis, but this is a live Q&A. So of course, if there are questions regarding analysis, you are more than welcome to ask and I will address it accordingly. Okay. Before we will begin, let's just go through this wonderful disclosure. Any capital markets and trading information disclosed in this webinar is provided for informative purposes only. It should not be constructed or applied as an investment advice, recommendation, or a suggestion. Okay, I'm going to go to make sure that the webinar is recorded as it's supposed to be. Just a brief moment, and then I'll be back and we will begin. Thank you very much. It seems like everything is in place. We're gonna begin with, like I said, with the comment, with the common questions. So we're gonna read them one by one, and also I would like to have a notepad. There we go. So in case we're gonna jot down a few things. Okay. How much can I make on the position? How much can I guess that what is missing here? How much money? Okay, so this is the first question. Let's also read this one. I want to start trading, but I'm afraid I will lose money. Okay, that's not really a question. How can I improve my fundamental analysis? All right, excellent. How can I withdraw my profits? Excellent. What is better to trade? Many assets or just a single assets? Okay, I think this one we had it last week, but I'm not exactly sure. Okay, we have a question here. Can I copy and paste a trend line? Okay, that's a very interesting question. I'm gonna take your question and we're gonna put it here. Okay. All right, so we're gonna begin with how much money can I make on a position? All right, that's a wonderful question. So let's go back to the platform. Okay, I selected soybean as a random example. It's not specifically with soybean. The exercise that we are about to use is applicable for all kind of assets on the platform. That means that you can know how much you're planning to make or lose on a position with this exercise. Okay. By the way, I'm just going to give on a nutshell how to get to this lovely interface that we are seeing now, which is called the web trader. Okay, and the web trader, this is actually very simple. You log in, okay, with your email and password to avatrade.com. Yeah, and then you're supposed to be sent to here. If you don't see this interface, you can contact your senior account manager or the customer service, and they will apply the platform on your account, because you're supposed to see the platform as soon as you are logging into the website. Okay, so how can I know? Let's put the name of the asset that we are looking at. Okay, soybean. Okay, now let's suppose that we are trading soybean. We are trading let's say just one lot. Okay, and we are with a sell. Let's go with a sell. Okay, excellent. So we have one lot with a sell. Okay, who can tell me? Okay, we have a question. Sigawane, you're asking, please explain the importance of VIC again when trading S&P 500 and other. Okay, I'm sorry in advance, but unfortunately we're gonna rewrite this question. But I have pasted and then we're gonna get to it. Okay, thank you for your question. So we are with a sell with soybean. Excellent. Who can tell me how much am I potentially looking at? Okay, who can tell me how much am I potentially making on that position if I'm with a sell with one lot with soybean? Let's suppose I took a sell now. I click sell. So how much can I make or lose? Who can tell me that? Okay, so we understand. So that depends on the price, but how can I know how much I'm looking at? Let's say I took a sell. Am I gonna make 100? Am I gonna? First of all, because I'm selling, that means that I'm gonna make profits. Okay, let me just break it down for the beginners. Okay, the logic behind what we're doing here, when we are selling and it goes lower, we're gonna make profit. When we are selling and it's go higher, what will happen? We're gonna have losses. Okay, how did I get those beautiful lines? By the way, those colorful lines, I took a line from here. Once I clicked it, it appeared here, and then all I gotta do is just to click and choose. Yeah, I click and I land it on the chart. Furthermore, if I wanted to be on a specific price and I don't want to play with my hand, I can simply just land it whenever I want, and then I'm going to put down the figures, 1545. Yeah, and it's going to send it right to where I asked. Now, how can I know? Now I'm about to take a position. I'm an absolute beginner. How can I know how much am I going to make with soybean taking one lot? So I'm going to measure. We have two privileges using the web trader, which you're not going to see that on MT4 or MT5, but it's very useful for whoever is using the web trader. Okay, I will teach this way and I will teach the manual way as well. If I click here on the take profit, okay, again, let me remind, when we are selling, that means that our intention is to go lower. When we are selling, now it's 15.29. Let's suppose that we're gonna go just $10 down, okay, to this level, So we're gonna make approximately $1,000. How is that possible, guys? Okay, because we have 100 units of soybean, 100 units of, also let's call the boy in his name, bushels. Yeah. Okay, so multiply by a $10 difference equals, how much does it says here? 1,000. Nevertheless, it's gonna keep on bouncing, so we're not gonna, just a second. we're gonna try and make it a round number, even though it's gonna keep on moving anyway. But as you can see, so that's 1,000. Now, approximately. Now, with this equation, okay, I can measure any asset I want on the platform using the take profit. Okay, so let's use another example. Now, if for instance, I make it instead of half a lot, just instead of one lot, just half a lot, just as an example, right? So how much is that going to be? Half, right? That's going to be half. If, for instance, I am selling from 1529 to 1509, right, which is $20 down. Let's see what happens. We're gonna change it to actually. Okay, so that's also 1,000. Why is that 1,000? Because we have now 15 okay units. Let's make it even an interesting number, because 1,000. Okay, now why is that 500 almost? Because 25 units, right, multiply what? $20 is $500 approximately, right? It does make sense. Does it make sense to you guys? Does this make sense? Okay, excellent. Do we have any questions regarding this part? Okay, Shaquille, you are asking me to explain this about currencies. Okay, usually, usually, I tend not to explain about currencies on my webinars because it's very time consuming, but because this question is very simple to explain, and to be frank, actually let's do it. Let's just do it. Let's do it. Euro, let's take something interesting, GBP, right? Sorry. There we go. Now, okay. Can you show it on a currency? All right, Shekel, this one is for you. So it's better that you'll pay close attention. Why isn't it showing it to me? Let's, okay, maybe I click here. There we go. All right. Now, when I'm looking at this asset, and I'm, as an example, we're going to take 0.1. Okay, what is 0.1? 10,000 euros. 10,000 euros. Okay, this is the decimal that stands for 1,000, right? The fourth digit after the decimal. Okay, so this is a pip, and this is 10 pips. So that means that if I'm going to change, and we are buying, gonna change this to 7, what will happen? It's gonna move 10 pips, right? 10 pips. What happens if I change? What happens if I change the third figure, right? Just a second. Okay, I'm gonna change the second figure. What will happen? So this is 100 pips, right? So, and also, so it works the same. It works the same. If it would have been 1,000, right, like this. So 100 pips multiply 10 cents. So that means I'm gonna make $10. Okay. So the equation is the same. All right, Shakil, do you understand the difference? Right? As you see, when I'm changing, if I'll change it back to 8, okay, pay close Pay close attention. When I'm changing it to 9, sorry, to 9, okay? So that means that I am gonna make 10, right? When it was 0.1, so I'm gonna make 100 because 100 multiply a dollar gives us 100. It's not an exact number because of the difference, right? If we change the difference, so obviously it will show a flat number, but otherwise that's how it works, right? All right. Do we have any questions? Do we have any questions regarding what I'm explaining? How much can I make on a position? This is also how much you can lose. Okay, just to be sure. Okay, if I'm changing it to 3, that's going to be 10, right? 10 pips multiply 0.1, that's $10. 100 pips, so that's $100. Okay. What's the other question? Okay, so basically what we're doing here is we will multiply units by movements, right? X units multiply Y and movements. Let's just put it there. I think it would make more sense. There is a question, are pip numbers on the right column? Pips are numbers on the price. Pips are numbers on the price. As you can see here, this is the number, this is the price, supposedly. It's not really a price, that's the difference. That's the difference between the euro and the pound, which is almost the same. As you can see, the pound is a little stronger. This is why 0.88 euros equals a pound. Okay, but if it would be otherwise, 1 pound equals 1 point something euros. Okay, that's how the conversion rate works. Let's just put down the equation. So the equation is simply, like we said, simply to why does it keep on jumping? There we go. X units multiply Y movements, right? Price difference equals potential profit or loss. Okay. All right. Now we're gonna make it a little. Okay. All right. All right. So what can how? Let's see. I want to start trading, but I'm afraid. Just a second. Let's paste this question down. Okay. I don't know how much of a question that is. It's more of a statement, but I believe that the reason that they wrote it here, I want to start trading, but I am afraid to lose money. Okay, I want to prepare you guys that this is 1000% sure you will be losing money while trading. There is no doubt. We also read it in the disclosure. The idea is not to avoid losing money, guys. Okay, of course I want to lose as less as possible, but I need to know when I'm starting to trade that I will lose money. Okay, I will have losing positions. This is 100% sure. Now, the key is to balance and stabilize my potential profit versus my account. So if, for instance, I have right now we are with, let's go for something a little more simple, like we had in the beginning. Okay, and we are trading soybean. Okay, where is soybean here? Okay. Now, when so if I have $10,000, I can use what I call a stop loss, right? When I'm using a stop loss, so I'm actually stopping my position from losing more than I am planning to. Okay? Now, if I want to start trading, but I'm afraid that I will lose money, I need to know how to lose. I need to know how much potentially can I lose. So this exercise we've we've used this equation that is written here, and we are going to paste it now. Okay, so I can know how much am I losing. How much am I losing? If I take 0.1, I take 10 units, right? 10 units. And I'm now 1530 and I go till this price, right? Down here. Let's calculate how far down. Okay, let's see. So 1530 minus 1477. So this $53, right? Okay, so I know I can potentially lose $500. I don't need to be afraid to lose. I don't need to be afraid. I just need to manage my trading in a proper way. And if I'm managing it, so it shouldn't be a problem. Of course, if I leave my position open without any stop loss, look what could happen. Okay, those are weeks. Yeah. I also want to clarify that what I did to get the different shape of this chart was to change the time frames from days to weeks. Okay, from days to weeks, and then it looks completely different. You saw when I'm with days, so it seems like it's positive, but right now we can see that this week was not so great for soybean. Okay, now if, for instance, okay, I am leaving my position open, and God forbid it gets $100 down, right? Like happened here, and then my potential loss is gonna be more considerable. Then I can lose a bigger chunk. So losing is part of trading, okay? But still, if I'm managing it correctly, so okay, I'm just gonna put down risk money management. There is no need to be afraid. How can I improve my fundamental analysis? First of all, what is fundamental analysis? Okay, let's take the whole thing. I think it could be more useful. We're just gonna, okay. All right, so what kind of analysis do we have? We have fundamental analysis and technical analysis. Okay, technical analysis is, okay, what we analyze from the chart. Therefore, we're going to use an example now. And fundamental analysis is what we have from outside the charts. Therefore, when I'm looking at the chart now and I'm thinking, where is right now, again, we are looking at weeks. Okay, where is soybean heading to? Is it gonna keep on consolidating? There is also, I'm gonna throw to the air a few things, and then it will be followed by an explanation. But if something is not clear afterwards, so of course, feel free to ask at any time. We're gonna put it here and here. Now, I'm looking at the chart, okay, and I'm not exactly sure where is soybean heading to. Is it gonna recover to here, to where it's been on? Why am I not getting information from the candles, guys? Anybody has any idea? Is the platform jammed? God forbid. God forbid, but I must change the crosshair to the regular crosshair for me to get information, because otherwise I'm not going to get any information. Okay, I must change to the regular crosshair to enjoy the information from the candles, as you can see. All right, now, if I'm looking at the chart and I think soybean last time that it's been higher than that price was, as you can see here, this is the data that we are receiving. The data is right here from June, right? Last time that it's been on there was June. Now, if I'm not sure where soybean is heading to, we're going to get rid of this guy at this point. So I'm going to go and analyze two edge points of this chart that is called support and resistance, right? Support and resistance being the points that I will consider as boundaries. Now, if I'm looking at the chart, right, this is technical, by the way. What we're doing here is called technical analysis. Yeah, technical analysis. We're going to put okay as an example. Now, okay, so those are my boundaries. Now, if I'm looking at this price, maybe push it a little higher. As you can see here, last time that it's been the resistance line 15.5327, last time that it's been on that was July, right? And then you can see that before that it was June, when it was higher. So I have a reason to believe that if it doesn't get to those levels, it has potential to go down. Okay, the market has only two directions. It doesn't go to the side. It goes either up or down. Now, if I have a reason, as an example, to believe it's not going to exceed this price, so it could fall. How far down could it fall? Okay, so I also have marked support levels. Resistance will be the top, support would be the floor. Okay, ceiling and ground. Now, when I'm looking at this area and I find out that this area, okay, roughly, it's bothering me, this price. This is why I can see it. Maybe we can push this guy a little lower. Okay, so this area is called, what can we pick? Maybe this one is called consolidation area. Okay, when the asset is ranging through several levels. As you can see, those levels was reached by soybean week after week, right? Week after week. Beside those two candles that wasn't triggered both directions, we have it here, 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 and as well almost here. Okay, now this is an example, a firefly candle with a very small body and very big tails. Now, same apply here. And as you can see, what happened here is it reached to the bottom and jumped back up. And in here, if we find this kind of candle, it's also one of the signs for consolidations. Okay. All right. So this is technical analysis. This is why I think that soybean possibly could go down. Okay. Perhaps I'm wrong, but again, this is how technical analysis works. Okay. Now, fundamental analysis, how does it work? Usually, supply and who can tell me? So if we said that some information is from the chart, some information is from outside the chart, okay? So the information outside the chart, yeah, from reports, let me put it down. Reports, news, also I can call it some announcements, right? So governmental decisions, all kind of important things. But the main idea that is driving the market up or down, who can tell me what is the word that I'm looking at? Support and demand. Very nice, Charles. Okay. Support and demand. Who can tell me how does that work? Support and demand. Supply and demand. I'm reading it as support, and nobody corrects me that I'm wrong. This is the support, but this is the supply. All right, and also I've put it down. So supply and demand. God forbid, supply and demand. Guys, I'm doing so many things and writing down so many things at the same time. If I'm making a mistake, please tell me. Supply and demand. Okay, so supply and demand. How does it work, supply and demand? Okay, for instance, we're gonna go to oil as an example, and oil will be found here. Maybe it was a bit too fast. Guys, to find an asset, I'm gonna put it in the search field and I'm gonna click it from the list. Okay, and then when I'm clicking it from the list, so then I can definitely choose it from this list, and then it opens this lovely menu over here. How does it work, supply and demand, guys? Let's suppose that our daily production is 10 million barrels a day. It's daily, so 10 million barrels. And right now we have a forecast that forecast means that I don't want to go for too extreme of a number. Let's say 12. Okay, 12. What do you think? Okay, what do you think that will happen after the forecast is announced? Okay, forecast means that we are expecting a growth of 10 million barrels. What do you think? What do you think will happen with the price? Now that there is a demand for 10 million barrels every day, 2 million barrels every day. If there is more demand, so what will happen with the price? Okay, it could go up, exactly. And if it goes, if the actual, so we have two kinds of elements in every announcement. We have the actual and we have the forecast. Let's suppose that at the time of the forecast, oil really went up and the actual was not was not as the forecast. Okay, what do you think? What do you think? Right now there is more production, but the actual is lower. That means that the production is not going to be 12, it's going to be 11. What do you think? Up. Are you sure? Because again, it's been 10. Last month it's been 10. Just as on a nutshell, usually it's every Wednesday. Usually the announcements for oil are on Wednesday, the oil inventory. So you can check it in the calendar if you want to do technical analysis for that. Okay, so we understand supply and demand. How does it work? When there is more supply and less demand, so the price should go down because nobody is demanding it, right? Somebody is supplying, but there is no demand on the other end. When there is supply and demand, so the price could respond with positive because keep on supplying and keep on demanding increase of the production. Okay, when there is like if you remember in COVID, let me see if I can show it to you. Okay, if somebody remembers April 2020, right? So what was the problem here? There was supply, okay, but the demand went so low that nobody needed oil because half a world was closed, right? Everybody was at home. There was another variant and another story. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So, do we have any questions regarding what I've explained so far? Any questions? All right. All right. So let's carry on. Let's carry on. Excellent. Crystal clear. I like this answer. Crystal clear. Right. So we're gonna put down. So supply and demand. I don't know why should I. What should I put it? What should I put here as an answer? Right. Yeah, I think this is quite sufficient. Okay. How can I withdraw my profits? All right. So this part is very, very easy. All I have to do is I'm gonna change just a second to an account that we can see how to withdraw. Just a moment, guys. I'm changing to an account that is not a simulator account. This way I can demonstrate, just to demonstrate how to withdraw. All right. Can everyone see the screen? Can everybody see the screen, please? Okay. So to withdraw the profits, all I have to do is I click here on the 3 lines and I click here on withdraw. And when I click withdraw, let's see. I'm gonna click here on the card, okay, as an example, and then I'm gonna put the amount that I want. Let's say the amount that I want is, let's say 50, just as an example. Can I put 50? Okay. Yeah, and then I'm gonna put my details and I click withdraw. Right when I click withdraw, so I should wait for it a couple of days and it should be fine. All right, let's go back to the simulator account just a second. Do we have any questions, by the way? Do we have any questions? Okay, there is a question here by Lee Zewang. What is the margin level before the position start to be closed due to insufficient level? There any other way to avoid closure temporarily than other depositing more money? This is a wonderful question, well composed by Lisa Wong. We're gonna put Lee your question here. Okay. What questions do we have left? Showed on the chart. Okay. All right. This is our last question from the common questions. I'm not gonna show on the chart any variations regarding this question from a simple reason that there is no best, there is no better to trade, more assets or less assets, right? It depends on the strategy. There is advantage trading a single asset because you unify the funds, the margin to a single assets, so it's just a little easier to manage, but you're also more vulnerable because you only have one stream of profit or loss. From the other end, when you're trading more assets, you need a little more time than a single position. So it's really there is no better. Sorry, there is no better. This question is maybe nice, but it's not for us. Not now. Can I copy and paste trend lines? Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I want you to see how easy that is. We're just gonna demonstrate that for the sake of the example. We're gonna take this trend line. Can you? Who asked this question? Let's see. Miss Upton. All right, Miss Upton, please pay attention. All I do is I just click here. I put it from the list. I click here on the trend line that I need, and I click two dots. One dot, another dot, and there we go. Again, one dot, another dot, and it appears. Clicking again, one dot, another dot, and it stays. Now, if I don't wish to see the remaining lines that I have here, so I'm just going to click on the chart, on the line. Okay, I'm clicking on the line, and instead of expand, I just demark the boxes. Okay, I unmark the boxes, and it makes it smaller. Same apply for here. I'm just going to unmark them. And in here, unmark them. I can even paint it if I want. Blue, maybe. Yeah. Okay, thank you for the question. Okay, shown on the chart. All right. Please explain the importance of Vic. I guess, can you explain? I think you wrote another VIX. Okay, all right. So VIX, who can tell me what is VIX? What just happened? What did I do? No, that just doesn't work for some reason. Why can't I take your question? Let's see. Ah, there we go. Look, I'm just gonna delete this part, and I'm gonna put down what is VIX and how it's related. Maybe what is VIX and how it's related to. Yeah, I hope it makes more sense. Okay. Right. So VIX, guys, is an indicator that indicates fear, uncertainty. Okay. Why do you think that I would need to use such an instrument? Why would I want to use an indicator that based on fear? Who can tell me why is that good? Okay, as an example, right now the economies in the world are doing good or not? Not really, right? Not really. US printed enormous amount of money, okay, considerable amount of money in the past 2 years, United States, and there was no practical coverage for all of the money that has been printed. So that makes the economy fluctuate. I want to show it to you. I hope that I can. Okay. One of the indicators that we are using to see how good the economy is doing is gold. The reason is that gold is a safe haven, and usually people run to assets that they believe that are going to be stable. Safe, this is why we call it safe haven. Now, if you can see at April, that was the highest peak for gold beside, let's change to the course there. So we have it even March, not April, March, right? End of March. And also I have it on the 2 years ago, right? So 2 years ago and today, we are celebrating, it's not really, I'm being obviously sarcastic, one of the biggest recession that we had in the past few years, right? We are celebrating the recession that people are now struggling to buy things that they are used to buy, right? The interest rate is skyrocketing and the governments are trying to repair the economy. Okay. Guys, whoever is raising his hand, I see that there are a lot of hands, but there is no need. This is a live Q&A. Just ask your question and I will address it accordingly. Okay, so the VIX, what it does, the VIX, is it summarizes the level of fear, uncertainty in the market. How is that related to indices? Because indices are umbrellas that contains stocks, right? In Nasdaq, there are stocks. S&P also stocks. All of those are umbrellas, groups of stocks. How is that related to the VIX, which is a fear indicator? Because when the economies are not doing well, the indices are reflection of the economy. So obviously indices are how much the economy is productive, right? When indices are doing well, let's take as an example Nasdaq. Okay, so you know that the economy is pretty okay. When Nasdaq is here, when as you can see the trend for Nasdaq, by the way, just to understand where we're standing with it, is bullish. Bullish means going up. Okay, bullish as a bull is fighting his opponent, lifting to the air, and a bear is slamming his opponent to the ground. So this is bearish, perhaps. Negative, we'll paint it in red. The other one goes in green. Okay, so we understand that the connection between indices, that how good indices are going to perform, will have a significant impact on the economy and vice versa. So the VIX is an instrument that you want to take a look when the economy is not doing so great, right? Okay, I hope that the answer is sufficient. I could explain a little further, but there is no need and there is no time. who asked this question. Let's see. Among a lot of interesting questions, guys. By the way, I'm sorry that I'm ignoring big a big number of questions, but the questions that I've explained about already, I'd rather not, because I hope you understand the logic. Okay. Where was I? Okay. FTSE is very high, so it's inflation. Well, that doesn't work like a formula, Eric, but I guess that you understood the logic behind it. What is the margin level? What is the margin level before positions start to be closed due to insufficient level? Are there any other way to avoid? Okay, beside depositing money. Okay, let me rephrase the question. When on a margin call before margin level can't be complied. Okay. Margin call, that's the definition. Okay. When on a margin call, how am I gonna write it? Before on margin call, okay, how can I release more margin without adding more funds? Okay. Okay, who gave me this wonderful question? Let's see. Okay. Li Zawong, right? Li Zawong. Okay. So how can I release more margin? Who can give me a solution, guys? I have some excellent traders here. I know for sure that somebody can give me a solution. How can I release more margin without adding more funds, guys? Who can tell me? One, I can make a profit on another position. Second, thank you, Eric, close positions. What else can I do, guys? What can I do? I now have a position that is losing. I know that it's losing. I gotta free up more margin. How do I go about it? Do I have any other way? All right, so I'll be frank with you. There is no really any other way. Usually, if I make profits on another position, make a profit on other position, or just to close some positions, close positions to free up more margin. Yeah. All right, guys. Let me paste you some links because so I'm just gonna paste the question here, the answer here. Oh, what did I do? Okay, let me paste you some some links here so you can enjoy to make your life a little easier. So this is, by the way, this is new. The education center is new. I'm gonna paste, guys, for your convenience, the links through the chat section and not through the question section. Oh, what did I do? Just a second. I don't seem to able. There we go. I think I've succeeded. Let's see. Okay, if somebody can comment in the question that it's visible through the chat, because I don't know if I did it. Maybe it just takes a bit time. Ah, there we go. Okay, so this is for the to make a deposit. This one is to the FAQ and the help center. Okay, This one is for a real account. If you had enough with the demo and now you're ready to take the leap of faith. And this one is for the academy. Very interesting tutorials there, videos, explanations, calculations. It's very, very interesting to see beside what I have taught you today. And we have the Q&A webinar special promotion one-on-one premium market review. Okay, which I'm going to give you now because we are already at the end. Okay. All right. We roughly have 2 minutes. Guys, I'm very generous today. We have 2 minutes. If there is anything brief that you would like to share with me before we say goodbye, now it's the time. Let me also paste you this code. This is when you make a deposit, by the way. If you make a deposit, you give your account manager this lovely promotion code, you're going to get a nice premium market review, which is very useful. Let's see if we have any more questions. Danny, do you know why Boeing grows so much? If I know, okay, so Jamil, you're asking if I know why Boeing rose so much. Okay. All right. So Boeing, where is Boeing? Why do you think that it rose so much? Actually, yes, I can see that the price is increased. Okay, why is it still on gold? Let's try and click buy. Will it do something? Okay, why do you think Boeing is an aircraft company, right? She manufactures airplanes, and airplanes are driven by commercial flights and tourism, right? Tourism, so people can fly. And if people can fly now and COVID has passed, so that means that Boeing is responding to that. I can't really specify too much, Jamil, because I'm sure there are a lot of different reasons. But as I said, feel free to jot down in the internet Boeing fundamentals. How do I go about it? And I'm sure you'll find many interesting things. Or maybe join us next week and I'll have more time to explain. Guys, anyway, it's been a pleasure. So I wish you all to make a lot of money. Best of luck with your trading. It's been a pleasure. Thank you all for joining. Have a wonderful week and have a good rest of the day.